Hello, I'm Mr. Luke and this is Mr. Luke Unplugged. Now there's a lot of strategies out there that can give you an advantage as a teacher in the classroom to have your students engage in the lessons and to build relationships with them. Now, some of these strategies, they miss one of the two. They either increase engagement but not connection between you and the student or the peers, or they can build a connection between you and the whole class and not individual students. Gamifying learning is a strategy that's used in classrooms, and all that means is turning lessons into games. Some ways that I've seen teachers do this so far is they can use a platform such as Kahoot. Kahoot will take a lesson and it will turn it into a video game where the student will play a game on their iPad or their laptop. They answer questions, they can build up an avatar, they can build up an inventory of things, and the more points they get, the further that they progress in the level. The problem that I see with that is there's not that student-teacher connection or the peer-to-peer connection because they're in front of a screen still. And in today's age, we're trying to lessen the amount of time that kids spend on screens in lessons. The second way that I've seen some teachers use gamifying learning is by using a platform such as Class Dojo. What Class Dojo allows you to do is you can give kids points. You give points for work completed on time. Maybe they helped their friend out in class. Maybe they were just following directions. So you can give kids points. But I've walked into these classrooms and I've seen kids who've got 150 points. There's then that kid who gets 1 point. So good luck getting that kid who gets 1 point to engage in anything because they're just way behind everybody else. A way that I gamify learning is I go back to my family game nights, and family game night was a night where the whole family got together and we'd play a family game like Monopoly or the two that you see here, Connect 4 and Jenga. So I wanted to see if I could use Connect 4 and Jenga to connect and build relationships with students. See what I did there? Connect 4, build, Jenga. Yeah, I think you got it. So why gamifying learning? Gamifying learning through board games will increase the relationship that you have with kids and then encourage kids to engage in the lessons, because let's face it, you've got those kids who never put their hand up to answer a question. You will ask a question and it's always those same two kids who are sitting up front. They put their hand up and you're like, all right, is there anybody else? Like literally anybody else? Or am I got two kids who are listening to the entire lesson? Then you've got the kids who they'll do the work, they'll answer the questions, they don't give you any trouble, and you're not spending enough time connecting on a one-to-one with them because there's the other kids who just take up a lot of energy. They're distracting the class and you're always trying to keep them on track. By using this strategy of using Connect 4 and Jenga in your lessons, you'll be able to connect with each kid individually and then bring in a classroom culture of the class working as a team. We only get about 30 seconds per lesson per child to build a relationship, and that's not enough to build deep, meaningful relationships. And as I said before, some other kids just take up a lot of time. So how do I use Connect 4 and Jenga? I'm going to tell you now. Teacher versus student. Every student wants to beat the teacher at something. So what I'll do is I'll set up a whiteboard or I'll write down class versus teacher. And it's sometimes really cool to give yourself an avatar, give the class an avatar so they can use a sports team or whatever name it is that they want to come up with. A lot of classes like chicken nuggets, I don't know, or hot dog water. Write down, makes it fun. So class versus teacher. With Connect 4, you can be yellow, the class can be red. And the way that I present it to my students is, students, if we can get through 20 minutes of the lesson, you will all get to play against me. Those people who get a red token can come up and put in and see if you can get Connect 4. If you win the game, you get a point. If I win, I get a point. At the end of the week, out of all of the games that we play, if you are ahead, you'll win 10 minutes of recess. 5 minutes of extra recess. Maybe there's a book that you all like to read as a class. Maybe there is a spinning wheel that you have a prize wheel and the kids can spin the prize wheel, whatever it is. They beat you at the end of the week, they get that prize. So to give tokens, to give a red token, it can be for literally anything. And this is where the personal connection comes in. For example, if you have a kid who is always distracting the rest of the class, yeah, that kid, you know who that kid is. And they're doing something for 2 minutes, 5 minutes. They're following instructions that you have given. Maybe you've told them to put everything down on their table and then to put their hands on their lap, put them together or cross their arms so they're not fidgeting. And usually if that student is fidgeting, then that's something that you want to be focused on, is that student not fidgeting. So if 2 minutes go by, you can use that red token, go over to the kid and say, hey, just love the way that you've been sitting down for a couple minutes and just following directions and you focused on me. Keep it up. Make sure that you are explicit in what the kid has done. Don't just go up and go, good job. You can do this 2 ways. You can announce it to that student in front of the class on what the student did, or you can go over to the kid subtly and tell them exactly what they had done. If you do it the second way, you're gonna have students looking around being like, hey, why did that person get it? How did they get a token? Another reason why I give tokens is I want to encourage engagement. So if you've got those 2 kids at the front and they're the ones putting their hands up, if they answer a question, whether it's right or wrong, I want to encourage ideas. There's reasons why kids don't put their hands up. It's either because they haven't been listening and they don't know, or maybe they're just afraid that their answer is wrong. And I want to build a culture of where kids aren't afraid of being wrong. So if a kid puts their hand up, regardless whether the answer is right or wrong, I'll say, thank you for the answer. That was a big contribution that you contributed. Does anybody else have anything that they want to share? There's going to be a bunch of hands going up. Now, I wouldn't go over to the next person and just give them a red token because then everyone's going to get one. What you're wanting to do is train them on the desirable behavior and the engagement that you want from them. After the 20 minutes has gone by, those students with a red token will come up and they will play against you. Decide on who goes first, you or them. If you go first, put yours in, then a student will put one in. Then you, then the student, and repeat the process until all the students have played. Now, if there's no winner at the end of that 20 minutes, after that 20 minutes has gone by, if there's no winner, then just repeat the process again until there is a winner. And then once someone wins, you give somebody a point, whether it's you or the other team. And that's how I play Connect 4 with my students. It engages them in the lesson. It makes them want to participate. And I'm also giving each kid a touch point to where I can have a little positive interaction with them rather than continuing to put fires out and all that the class is hearing is negativity. If I am being positive and rewarding positive behavior instead of giving a consequence for negative behavior, it just shifts that mindset into kids wanting to know what it is that they need to do to get a red token. Now, what you'll find after a couple of days is when that 20 minutes is up and the kids start to come up to play, the rest of the kids who don't have a token will come up as well and they'll want to try and help. And it builds that peer-to-peer interaction and it makes the lessons a lot more fun. So then the second game is Jenga. I play this one a little bit differently. There are 2 ways to play Jenga. The first way is you can do it the same way as what you do with Connect 4. You can have a popsicle stick. And you can color the popsicle sticks because these ones, this Jenga set is all different colors. If you have one that isn't different colors, then you don't have to color the popsicle stick. But color in the popsicle sticks if you have one with colors. And as you want to reward behavior that it is that you want or engagement, just give a kid a popsicle stick. Then play it the same way as what you play Jenga. And then play it the same way as what you play Connect 4. The other way that I do it is if it's just a plain Jenga set that I bring out. I want this to be like a class objective, not just individually. So I'll phrase it like this to my students. If we can get through 15 minutes of this lesson, 2 students can come up and they can pull a block. So if 15 minutes go by and you're happy with the progress that you've made within your lesson, student one will come up, they'll pull a block, you pull a block, and then the next student pulls one, and then you pull one. After that's done, both those students sit down and the clock resets for 15 minutes. Now you don't have to keep it at a hard 15 minutes. Sometimes you might not get a good stopping point for 30 minutes, but this helps kids tell time. And then they're watching the clock and they'll be excited for when the 15 minutes come by or the 30 minutes. So if 30 minutes come by at the stopping point and you're happy with the progress that the class has made, then 4 students can come up and you just pull blocks until the tower falls, and whoever knocks the tower down, the other person gets the point. If they knock it down, we get the point. If the teacher knocks it down, they get the point. You're creating extrinsic and intrinsic awards when you do these types of things. A little extra kick to level up the game with Jenga. On Jenga, I'll put levels. So how tall can we get the tower? Now there's no prize for this, it's just something fun because kids feel like, yes, they're playing against you, but they also are playing with you, because if you can get to level 25, like the tower is 25 levels high, then they want to beat that. It's kind of the streak mentality, like when kids are all on social media or they're doing something, or maybe you experience it yourself, you're on a platform and you've got a streak that you don't want to break. Jenga's a great way to do that because you can build the tower and see if you can get to level 40 or 42. And then maybe as you come towards the end of the year, hey, look, if we can get to level 50, we get a pizza party. Whatever it might be, it just makes gamifying learning a lot more fun, being able to connect with students in a deep, meaningful way and build relationships. So I hope that you're able to take Connect 4 and Jenga, move it into your classroom and change these rules any way that you want to suit your style of teaching and the classroom that you have. You're gonna have a lot of fun doing it. You'll see engagement rise, and it's not just gonna be for those kids who are always doing the right thing. The kids who struggle to do the right thing and it might take them a little bit longer to gain confidence in answering questions or to stop the fidgeting that's going on inside of the classroom or disrupting the class, you will hopefully see those behaviors start to drop, and the lesson's going to be a lot more fun for you and a lot more fun for them. I'm Mr. Luke, this is Mr. Luke Unplugged, and you have just unplugged. Help us grow this channel and join us and subscribe.